Now we come to the Gemini Ascendant people, the Mithuna Lagna. So Gemini Ascendant people, in their first house they have Rajasic energy, which is constantly moving. They have lots of passions and karma and desires. Passions and desires combination. So they are asking the question, the what? Third house stands for discovery of skills, desires and communication. So they are constantly wanting to improve this throughout their life, because this is the Kendra house. Remember, the blue shaded houses are Kendra houses. In the second house they have Sattva and Moksha. The first for what point they are asking right in the second house, right after they are born. In the initial years, they're asking, what am I doing all this for? This is the driving question for them, even in their family life, with their birth family or the family that they create later in life after marriage and so on. That's the first moksha point. So Gemini Ascendant people need to ask themselves the question, for what am I doing all of this? They need to seek that connection with the heart, with the family, with their elder siblings if they have one, because second house also stands for elder siblings. Their connection with elder siblings, their connection with family. They need to ask and answer all these questions truthfully from their heart. In the third house, Gemini Ascendants have Sattva and Dharma, meaning they are asking again the questions, the why and the how. Third house stands for skills and communication. So they are using creative intelligence here and their education for asking the discovery of skills. See how the first house and the third house are closely linked in every ascendant? Even in the other ascendants, it's the same pattern we see. So Sattva and Dharma, so they need to use their creativity and their intelligence and their education as their skill set, because third house is for skill sets, it's for communication. So whatever they are asking, desiring in their minds, in their head, they need to fulfill it through their education, and they need to improvise their skills throughout their life. In the fourth house, the Gemini Ascendant has Tamas and Artha, meaning Tamas meaning you have to ground it. Whatever the energies and questions you have asked in the first three houses, you need to first ground it here. And grounded, Tamas and Artha means you have to find the means. The home becomes their ways of finding their meaning. Heart is where they discover their means and meaning to accomplish. They answer the questions, the what and the where. The work and the routines for self, the Virgo, comes in their fourth house. So here they are trying to discover what means do they have at hand, what tools do they have at hand, how to accomplish whatever needs to accomplish. So the Gemini Ascendant should be really comfortable working from home in that respect. In the fifth house, the Gemini Ascendant have Rajas and Kama. So the energy that moves in desire. Rajas is energy that moves, Kama is fulfillment of desires. So here they are fulfilling the answer to the question, the who, fulfilling the need for connection and companion. This fifth house also stands for love and romance. So Gemini people are better off finding connections in when they are getting educated, when they are having their creative skills match the creative skills of themselves. Because the connection is made very strongly. Libra is the connection for the other. That right there gives a hint. That's what they are trying to fulfill through their creativity. The Rajas and Kama is very strong in the need for connection. In the sixth house, they have Tamas and Moksha. The second moksha point after the second house comes for them in the sixth house. So their work becomes their liberating point, or even small illnesses, or even their enemies. That's the sixth house. Remember the sixth house, you can rewind this video and see that if you want. So the Tamas and Moksha point, they need to ground their liberation. The for what answered asked the second time. First time you asked with your family, now you're asking with your work. Finding the core of your desires is the Scorpio, the eighth sign, which is happening in the sixth house for them. In the seventh house of spouse, they have Sattva and Dharma, the Gemini Ascendant people. So they are answering the questions, the what and the where and the who through their spouse. They are seeking higher meaning on what it means to have a spouse. What is the higher meaning? What is the philosophy and wisdom for me in my life? They can gain that from their spouse. If they have a spouse, a love interest, or a business partnership, this will answer their fundamental questions of higher wisdom and philosophy for them through life. In the eighth house of secrets, secretive desires, they have Rajas and Artha. So they are asking the questions, the how, what and where, the career, job and business. So for Gemini Ascendants, they will be finding the means and the responsibilities and how they have to carry out their job and business through variations of life, because 8th house stands for lots of variations. There will be lots of change of career, change of jobs, change of everything, because it is Rajas, it's constantly moving and it is a means here. In the 9th house, these people have Sattva and Kama, the purest form of desire. 11th house, the Aquarius. So here they answer the question, for what? In the form of fulfillment. So they'll give fulfillment to Gemini in the earth by gains and connections through wisdom and philosophy. This will answer their question of connections in the 5th house, where they are seeking companionship and connection. That is answered for them in the 9th house. Whatever Gemini asks in the 5th house will be answered in the 9th house. In the 10th house, they have Tamas and Moksha, meaning they need to ground their liberation point. This is the third and the final Moksha point for Gemini, which happens in their career. Why me? They can embrace this by embracing the liberation from their ego. If Gemini Ascendant chooses to work without too much of ego, they will find a great liberation in that. Okay? This what questions they asked in the 2nd house, the for what, is finally answered in your career, your business. In the 11th house of social networks, connection and community, they have Rajas and Dharma. So the energy is still moving here. So in this one, they find the results of their career. This answers the fundamental question, the why for them. Once they get liberated from their ego and do their work in the world in a more free way, without too much of ego hassles, okay? Then they will find the answer to their why. What is my path, purpose and direction in life for myself? They will find it in the community, because this is Rajas and Dharma house, the Aries, the beginning. This is where they make new beginnings. In the 12th house, they have Rajas and Artha, meaning the how. They are answering in the house of spirituality and giving service to others. They need to find the answer to how. How do I recognize my resources and abilities? How do I give this back? The why has been finally answered. Now I need to give this back to the society. This is where Geminis will find their spiritual enlightenment. Okay? Keep watching for the other ascendants.